Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to do another deck profile. This is going to be the Mimighoul deck. If you don't know what this deck does, it's a series of level 1s and one level 4 and some ranks. Um, Monsters that do a couple different things. When they're in your hand, all of them can be activated except for the level 4 to special summon them on your opponent's side of the field in face down defense position. And then when they're flipped face up, they do something and then they come back to your side of the field. So it doesn't innately counter stuff such as Sky Striker or Kashtira, but there are ways around that. We're just going to go through and list what they do and why I'm running what I am because it's a little wacky. First, you see the Dragoon and the Fiendsmith engine. That is, it's needed in this deck because this is not an inherently powerful deck. All you have is a forced discard and draw um, and a monster pop, and that's nowhere near enough. Um, so this is all needed, and since Lurie is a level 1, it's technically support for the deck. Since all these are level 1s, you can go into your rank 1s. Um, so that is just another way you can use it. First, you have Mimighoul Dragon. If this card is normal or special, you can add a Mimighoul Spell Trap from your deck to your hand. And its other effect or primary effect, you can activate this during the main phase, special summon this to your opponent's side of the field, and then when it's flipped face up, it destroys all face up non-Mimighoul monsters on your opponent's side of the field, and then gives it to you, then gives you back control. So you have potential of pretty much just clearing your opponent's monsters and then gaining control of this, which is not bad, but a monster board wipe is not very good at all. Ashen is definitely stronger in that regard, but even that is not a very uh, good thing to have. So it is what it is. Next you have Cerberus. I'm running this at 3 because this is just a searcher. Running this at 1. All it does on your side of the field is your opponent cannot target face-up spells you control with card effects. And its secondary effect or primary effect, however you want to look at it, banish top 3 cards of your deck, then special summon one of your banished monsters to your opponent's side of the field. Does not have to be any of the 3 cards that you banished anyways, and even though it says you banished 3 cards, they're going to be on your opponent's field, so your opponent banishes and then special summons to your side of the field. And then you, the person who owns the card, gets this card back. So it is just a way to get another body on board. This deck is really good at getting bodies on board, depending on, or if you have a good hand. Next, you have Mimighoul Archfiend. Its on-field effect is you can, when it's normal special summoned, you can change one face-down monster to face-up attack or defense position. This is so you can flip up any of the cards you put on their side of the field. There's a couple that are pretty good. One in particular will allow you to go to +3 along with this. And then on the opponent's side of the field, if this is flip face up, you can make them discard a card and draw one. Draw one yourself. They don't draw a card. You draw a card, and then you get control of this. I'm not going to say get control of this because you will always. Any of the Mimighoul monsters, if they're flip face up, they'll do something and then you get control of them back. So I'm not going to worry about saying that over and over again. Then you have Armor, which all this secondary effect is if it's flip face up, Mimighoul monsters can't be destroyed by battle. This one doesn't have a secondary effect. Fairy monsters, monsters you special from the hand can't activate their effects. And if you have a Mimighoul monster on your side of the field, you can just special summon this to your field. Armor, if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card to your field. So these are pretty much just free special summons as long as your opponent controls a monster. If you control a Mimighoul monster, the reason I'm running this at 1 is because if you're going first, you obviously won't always be able to have this along with anything else. So running this at 1, you really want to just search this And Fairy, it's just a free special summon if you start with any of the other ones. If you normal summon Armor, you can just special summon Fairy and then go from there. Next, Mimighoul Slime. On your opponent's side of the field, if it's flipped face up, you, the player, can special summon one Mimighoul monster from your deck, and then you get control. I've already said I'm not going to stop doing that, but it's okay. It is what it is. And if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can special summon this card to your side of the field. There's no real reason to do that because this thing doesn't have any benefit to you other than being able to search your own deck as long as your opponent flips it face up or if you flip it face up for them. So that's the reason why I'm running this at 1. You really want to search this out, or you want to get it off of Maker and force the search on your side of the field so that you can get everything going from there. Run the 2 Max C Ash Blossom. I mean, it's pretty standard, is what it is. And then since Malice is in the deck, I have 3 Chaos Hunter. I can discard a card. Stuff like Lurie obviously is not too bad, but I do often end with hands with like 1 or 2 cards extra, so I can just discard it so they can't banish anything. Is kind of how I'm dealing with it. 1 Dark Piercing Light. Flip all face down monsters your opponent controls to face up. If you have Mimighoul Slime, Archfiend, and Cerberus on your opponent's side of the field, it's probably not going to happen like ever, but if it does, you have a free special summon along with this. You can make your opponent discard a card, you draw a card, and then get control of it, and then you can make your opponent banish 3 cards, special summon 1 monster from their banish pile, and you get control of it. That's like 5 cards just in these 3, and with Dark Piercing Light. Again, not very likely to happen, but there are ways to kind of manipulate it if you do happen to get this in your hand. I was running this at 2, but I just decided to cut it down to 1 because it doesn't do anything if you don't have anything to flip face up. 1 Red Eyes Fusion for the Dragoon stuff, 1 Track for the Fiendsmith stuff, 3 Maker. What this does is you can refill 2 flip monsters with different names from your deck. It can be any flip monsters, but you're always going to be searching your Mimighoul monsters for the most part, unless you have like Ghost Trick in this deck. I think those actually kind of work. A lot of those are level 1 crawlers for some reason. I don't know why you would even want that, but it is what it is. Anyway, your opponent randomly selects 1. They special summon that to their side of the field face down, and then you add the other one to your hand, and you can special summon 1 Mimighoul monster from your hand. Ideally, what you do is you picked Archfiend and Slime. Your opponent special summons Slimes to their side of the field. You special summon Archfiend, flip Slime face up, and then you can go ahead and get Master. And I realize I did not cover what Master does. Go over that because it's kind of a lot. Master, if you have any Mimighoul cards or Mimighoul monsters, or if your opponent controls a face-down monster, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Mimighoul monster from your deck to your hand. That itself does not matter all that much because after the first turn, you're pretty much set up anyways. And you're probably just going to be using it for discard fodder. During your opponent's main phase, you can change 1 face-down attack position or 1 face-down monster to attack or defense position. This is going to either going to be dragon to pop stuff. You can just diminish your opponent's resources with Archfiend. Or you can reset something. Your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is a soft once per turn, so you can just reset that, and while it won't have its popping effect, you can get its negate effect again. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's this. That's everything that Master does. Back to Maker. Maker has a secondary effect where if your opponent special summons a monster, you can banish this, target 1 face-down monster on the field that your opponent controls, and change its battle position so that it is face up. Again, if you have Dragon, you can flip that face up and destroy all of the monsters your opponent controls. So that's actually not too bad. It rarely comes into use, but when it does come, it is very helpful to actually have. The field spell, Mimighoul Dungeon. Couple things this does. 1, Mimighoul monsters your opponent, or Mimighoul monsters that were not normal special summon this turn gain attack equal to their defense. So you can have a 3,000 attack Mimighoul Master, 2,500 attack Dragon, a 1,900 attack Archfiend, a 2,200 attack Cerberus, and then it kind of just goes down from there. It's just 2,100. This is a whopping 200 attack, and this is a whopping 900 attack. So these things get massive. Um, its second effect: any player who controls a face-down monster cannot normal summon monsters nor declare an attack with monsters that were supposed to summon this turn. And during your main phase, you can add one Mimighoul monster from your deck to your deck or graveyard to your hand. It's just a recycler or a searcher, and it kind of has like a little bit of a floodgate going through it. I have noticed that this does kind of stop Kashtira because they can't normal summon you if they do get that that Kashtira at birth to normal summon. They can't normal summon; they have to set. So that kind of just stops them from there. And then Charm, not a lot of Mimighoul people play this, but I do find it's a funny card, and it's actually pretty good when up once per chain during your main phase. If a Mimighoul monster your opponent controls is flipped face up, you can choose one. You randomly choose one face down card in your opponent's extra deck, and if that's a monster that can be special summoned, special summon it. If it can't be special summoned, you banish it. So either way, you get rid of it. This one has actually been pretty good. You can special summon out stuff like Fiendsmith Desiree, which is not too bad. You can special summon out the opponent's Baronne, which is pretty cool. It has utility no matter what. It's funny. I just like the card, so I'm running it at 1. I refuse to take it out of the deck. 2 Imperm, 2 Called Bys, and then Mimighoul Room, just a quick effect Book of Moon. I guess Book of Moon is quick effect anyways. It also special summons a Mimighoul monster from your deck or hand, either to your opponent's side of the field as a face down card, or to your side of the field as face up. And then you book the card, so it doesn't target the card. You just immediately flip it face down. Secondary effect is you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target any number of Mimighoul cards you control, and return them to the hand. You can only use one of these effects per turn, so you can't use both of them in the same turn. However, say if somebody tried to imperm you could immediately just put it back in the hand, and their effect still resolves. Or if you need to resolve another effect of something that's on the field that normal special summons, you have that option to do as well. Alright, so for the extra deck, we have the Dragoon Fiendsmith stuff, then we have Embodiment of Crime. This is just a Dark Piercing Light on legs. It can flip everything face up into attack position, activate all the effects, but I have not used it yet. Then you have Assembled Nightingale, just a way to get Zeus out. You can do a quick 800, and then go into Zeus to wipe the field. This one, which is unaffected by other cards' effects, and again, just another easy way to get Zeus out. Yeah, if you get both of these are just guaranteed to get Zeus out, because if they have an effect negation, you obviously want to go for Fucho. If they don't have anything in the back row, go for Nightingale and get Zeus to wipe the whole field. Running one Giant Mimighoul, you could run this at 2 and probably get rid of the Embodiment of Crime, honestly, but I like this card. I did like it at 2. I'll probably put it back to 2, but you don't really need it. What its effect is, your non-Xyz Mimighoul monsters can attack directly while your opponent controls a face-down monster. So the 25, 3000, those are direct attacks now, as long as your opponent controls a monster. Secondary effect, when this card is Xyz summoned, you can add a Mimighoul card from your deck to your hand. Third effect, you can attach one material from this card and target face-up cards up to the number of face-down monsters your opponent controls, destroy them. If you do, inflict 1,000 damage for each card you destroyed. It's not unlikely that you'll be getting 2,000-3,000 points of damage in, and again, if you attack with Mimighoul Master, which is 3,000, dragon, which is 25 at that point. That's just game. You'll have 55 plus 3 is 85, 8,500. So that's pretty good. That is all the effects for this. You can pop itself as well. You don't have to pop stuff on your opponent's side of the field, so you can just pretty much take into effect. You cannot just FDK your opponent with just this alone, so it's not too bad. And if you give your opponent all of those cards, then yeah, I just don't like the I like how this works, but it can definitely be pretty annoying to deal with. I do understand that. You can also pop your opponent's stuff and deal 1,000, which is kind of funny. Anyway, next, Mimighoul Throne. Detach one material from this card, special summon one master from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and then during the main phase, you can target one master you control, equip this card to it as an equipped spell that gives it 100,000 attack, and then you can return cards from the field to the hand up to the number of materials this card had. So you'll most likely just be returning one, so it's just a non-targeting compulse. You can only use one effect of this card per turn, and only once that turn, so you won't be able to do this and immediately get 1,000 attack. Yeah, take that as how you want to. Then Zeus, just wipe everything, and I think everything else is just engine. I am running IP. I think I might just swap this for SP because there's nothing in here that I would need that SP couldn't fulfill. So just swap that in for SP, and yeah, that's about it. Anyway, that's a deck. I'm gonna go ahead and try again. Let's do some combos here. And it's not unlikely that you'll get end board of a 2800 attack Desiree with the targeting immunity, and then a Dragoon along with Master with room. So you have an Omni Negate, an on field Omni Negate, a way to flip something face up, which doesn't seem that strong, but if you do have room, you can then just pop everything. Or you can just reset your Dragoon while having the, by using Mimighoul Master to flip the face up. So we're going to go ahead and try to get into the combos. Give me just a second to pull this. Okay, so this is not the best hand, but this is not a very bad hand. So first what we'll do is we'll go ahead and set Cerberus over here. Then we will normal summon Archfiend. Archfiend will target Cerberus. Alright, we banished a monster. We can go ahead and get that, so that's another material. We're going to go ahead and use Archfiend Engraver to get tracked. And this is the second hand, so it's not something that's too crazy. We're going to go ahead and do this to get Maker here. We've already used the effect of Archfiend, so we can't select the two we usually select. We're going to go ahead and use that, and then we'll also get Fairy. Alright, they got Fairy, which means I get Dragon, which is perfectly okay. Dragon, I can then go ahead and just special summon out Dragon. I don't really need to special summon out Master just yet. Master will go ahead and get the field spell. Not the field spell, the Mimighoul room. Then we'll go ahead and do this. Fiendsmith Tract. Send that to the graveyard. Special. And then I could go ahead and just do this. Let's go ahead and do this instead. Activate this, special summon Lacrima, send the other engraver. Engraver, we'll go ahead and just put that back. Then we just do regular Fiendsmith combo from here. Since we already have the Verte, we won't really need to do that. So this is definitely going to be best case scenario for Desiree specifically. We go ahead and use Ignum Day. Again, we don't care about him having that face down. If this was a real person, you try to, or if they flip it face up, you get the monster anyways. Okay, we have those, and then we'll go ahead and pay 2,000, use Red Eyes Fusion. Okay, I didn't mean to do that, but it's okay. It's fine. It's clicking too quickly. Okay, so we are at 6,000 life points. That's okay. What all we have to do is set these two. We have a Book of Moon, a Monster Negate, Omni Negate, on field Omni Negate with 7,000 attack. And then when I special summon this, I can um I can add something to hand. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and special summon Mimighoul Master. We're not going to change the position because we don't need to. And then we're just going to go ahead and add the Mimighoul Dragon. Alright, from here, I keep on doing that. Stop it. I don't need to do that. Okay, there we go. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Pop these two. Massive 100 damage. Okay, nope. There we go. All right, so that was without having an optimal hand, and we were still able to get to all of that. Now, if we did have an optimal hand, we could start with like 5 or 6 monsters, um, or the availability to have 5 or 6 monsters, and just special summon everything from there, and we would still have pretty much everything we just did. So yeah, um, there's the combos. That's the deck. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.